Okay, so I think everything is working. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so first of all, my name is Okan Yeboah, and I'm the Creativity Group KUST chapter lead. And today, we will be talking about mobile app development with Flutter. So this seminar is all about mobile app development with Flutter, and why you should join us, because Flutter is cool. So let's deep dive. Okay, so first of all, what is Flutter? So um, Flutter is not a programming language. Bear in mind, Flutter is not a programming language, but rather an SDK, just like the Android SDK for Android development, where Java and Kotlin are the programming languages. But um, Flutter is used for cross-platform development. So this this simply means that you write once from a single code base and then you deploy for multiple platforms. So Flutter is cool, like it helps you to build from one source. Okay, and Flutter is also a product by Google, which is company. I think we all know Google. Like, if you've been using the browser, by default, if you use Chrome, by default the search engine is Google. So yeah. So Flutter is Google's portable UI toolkit for crafting beautiful natively compiled applications for mobile, web, and desktop from a single code base, as I said earlier on. Okay, so Flutter helps you to build beautiful apps. Like it bridges the gap between you see, designers who UI UX designers who give you beautiful designs, and then if you are supposed to implement it with let's say, like you are supposed to implement it by using XML, like sometimes it's more like a pain in the ass. So with Flutter, it's so declarative, like what you want to get, you just write it, and then the Flutter that virtual machine will handle everything for you. So Flutter is very, very good in building beautiful and natively compiled applications. Okay, and with Flutter, like it paints your UI to life. So whatever you have, whatever creative idea you have, Flutter will paint it into life, to life for you, with the help of the that virtual machine. So um, Flutter Flutter apps are written in that programming language and make use of many languages. The language that's more advanced features, and Flutter, when you are running Flutter, like when you have first of all, you have to get the that SDK installed, which provides you with the that virtual machine for just-in-time execution. So like with Flutter, we have the just-in-time and then ahead of time compilation. I'll like when we go to the fun part, I will show you what I'm talking about. Okay, all right. So yeah, when I said Flutter can help you build for for the three platforms. Like even at first, when Flutter was released, it wasn't only used for like mobile, web, and then desktop, but in general it's used, like when it was built at first, it was used for it, like it ran on the Android operating system, but right now Flutter runs on Android, iOS, Linux, Mac, Windows, the web like from a single code base. So with Flutter you don't have to worry about like, oh, like I have to write the iOS version with Swift, and then I have to write the Android version with Java or Kotlin. No, Flutter is very very good for UI and building softwares. Okay, and Flutter is open source, so if you want to, like, if you do understand that the basic and then the advanced language features, you can contribute to the community. I think we will be happy to see you contribute to the community. Okay, and like some people, like there is a need for you to start learning Flutter because first of all, it's easy for you to prototype your idea you have in mind and then deploy it for the three platforms, that's mobile, web, and then desktop. Okay, and as I said earlier on, Flutter was written in Dart. So and bear in mind, Flutter is not a programming language, it's an SDK. So with the help of the Dart programming language, we can write our code, and then the Flutter SDK will help us to build for the three platforms. So it's like Flutter and then that gives you love. So like there are so many things you can achieve with Flutter and then the Dart programming language. Okay, all right. So one thing to also know that is like to take note is that Flutter is not difficult to learn. So compared to its counterparts like React Native with Java, Flutter is easier to learn. Like the first thing that you have to know is like you have to know the basics of that programming language, object-oriented concepts in that. So if you do know these concepts, then I think it's way easier for you to jump right into the Flutter ecosystem and then start getting your hands dirty. Okay, so yeah, so you have to know the basics of that. And let me also talk more about this. Like the Flutter is not like in a few words, let me say this. Flutter allows you to create native mobile application with only one code base. This means that you can use one programming language, that's for the whole thing. Okay, and Flutter also like it facilitates a single language to structure backend. So it's just like JavaScript. You see nowadays JavaScript is like, when you go to the web field, people are so crazy about JavaScript because like, and also with the help of the Node.js runtime, like you have to use only JavaScript for all, like for the backend and then the front end. So with that you can use that for server side, and then you write your that code for the front end, that's with the help of the Flutter SDK, and then you will be able to deploy your mobile app. So like this session we are focusing on the mobile app, we are not going to focus on the web and then the desktop side of Flutter. Okay, and trust me, Flutter is definitely worth trying. Like you should try it. It's good as it seems to be, and with each new update, the devs at Google add more and more, even like more tools for cross platform development. So like the that dev tools like for debugging, like so many. And one cool thing is like with Flutter you can do some cool animations. Okay, like it's so cool. Flutter is so cool. So guys, you have to try. Okay, enough. Let's get into the Dart programming language. So let's talk about a few things about Dart programming language. So first of all, you all know that that is a programming language. Flutter is not. Flutter is an SDK. And then that programming language is optimized for UI. The UI, that's the user interface. It's very optimized for the user interface. And then it's very like it gives you productive development way of developing software products, and it's also fast on all the available platforms over there. So like you don't it, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm so excited about this because you have to um, learn how to um, develop Flutter app. Okay, and someone will be like, "Ah, is it worth learning Flutter?" Oh, sorry, that yes, of course, because without that you can't write your Flutter apps, and like you can't write your Flutter app, and you won't be able to build from a single code base. Okay, so you should learn Flutter. That and it's a robust language, a general purpose programming language, so it compiles fast and it's also concise. It's also open source, just like Flutter is open source by Google. Okay, and like a basic Dart program looks like this. So if you want to define a function, you just bring the function name, like over here the function name. This one is print integer, and the parameter, that's a number. So this number is of type an integer, and then over here we are printing the output to the console. So when you run this program, it will print the number is then the number that we pass in. So like within every Dart program or every Dart file, like if you want to execute your program, the entry point of execution starts from the main function. So like a function, someone asks like what's a function in programming. So a function is used to like group related actions. Okay, so it's used to perform tasks. Okay, then those tasks should be related. So if you are writing if you are writing your Dart program where the app starts execution is the main function, so take note, because when we go to the mobile app side, you will see it in action. And also with like, let me explain this code and then we move on. Okay, so var is used to declare a variable, and we have a variable that's name number. And if you don't know what a variable is, a variable is it's a container, like it's just like a container used to hold values. Okay, so we declare a number, which is a container, which we assign, like using the assignment operator, we assign 42 to, and then the semicolon is used to terminate, like it says like this is the end of the line of code we want you to execute. So it's just like when you are writing an English essay, you would use full stop for terminating the like when I think we all get this, like declare and initialize a variable, then we bring in the full stop, that means end of sentence, then we can continue on a new line. So the semicolon works in that way. And on this line we see we have the print integer function defined here, and then we are passing in the number, that's 42. So when you run this program, you get the output, like we are calling this function. So this is how you call a function within that. So you just bring the function name into in parentheses. You bring the argument, that's number in this case, and then 42 will be printed to the console. So it will be like the number is 42, full stop. That's it. Easy. That is so cool to learn. And there are so many concepts in that, like so many of them. It's like I don't, like so many. If like, let me mention some of them. Maybe you are like, oh, how could I, like, is it worth learning that? Because like this thing that you showed me, it seems like that has limited features. No, that doesn't. So that has so many features, like the control structures, which really affects the execution of programs, functions, and collections, like how you can group data of the same kind, like object oriented, like how you can manage dependencies and those kind of stuff. Like that is so cool and advanced, that concept, like generics, like so many cool things in that. So I think it goes with this say that talk is cheap by Lenny Stover. So let's have some fun, okay? I don't want to bore you with so many stuff. So I have this UI design by my good friend Sedem Bafu. He designed this UI and I was like, come on man, I have to build this UI. So I'm using this UI. I was checking whether it's recording sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to use this UI as a guide. Like we will build the same thing with Flutter. Okay, I already, like, let me show you. I've done it. I already did it with Flutter. So like we'll go through the code. I'll explain things to you. Okay, so first of all, if you want to try try your hands on Flutter, you have to install that SDK and then the Flutter SDK. Okay, so after you're done with the that and Flutter SDK, so what you usually do is you go to your terminal and then like you have to check whether you have Flutter installed. So over here I'll check whether I have Flutter installed. So I'll type let me make this big so that you can see. Maybe you won't be able to see. So Flutter, you hit enter, and then if you have the Flutter SDK installed, it will it will spit some common commands associated with Flutter. So if you don't have it installed, like when you type Flutter, nothing will show. It's not like nothing will show. Since that command is not available, the terminal, whether you're using like Windows or Mac or whatever, it will tell you that that command doesn't exist. Like let's say you have something like let me type something like Ghana. So you don't, like, ZSH is like command not found, you don't have Ghana here. So yeah, that's what you get if you don't have Flutter installed. Okay, so that's it. So like cool commands, like you can build channel, clean, config, bash completion, like so many cool things. And so yeah, if you have Flutter installed, you should get access to the Flutter command. Like you should be able to run it. Okay, so we have this command here, Flutter create, and then the output directory. So this is used to create a new Flutter project in a specified directory. So let me show you something like Flutter create. You see, we have this folder is like MAF. That's a mobile application development with Flutter 00. That's the first one. Yeah, I know programmers, we come from zero. All right. Okay, so Flutter creates and then this is a directory. So what this, like when I hit enter, what this will do is that it will create a new Flutter project for us, but because this is a short seminar, I don't want to like waste much time setting things up, so I've already done it. So there's no need for me to run it to create this file for me. So like when you run it, let me take this out. Okay, I think I think this is okay. Oh no, let me make it big right now. Okay, so when you create it, these files over here, they will be auto-generated for you, like the that2 idea Android asset is not part, I added it, so don't worry. The build file, the build folder, that one, when you run the Flutter project, then the build folder will be auto-generated. And then we have the iOS. So if you want to do something natively with Swift, you can go there. Like Flutter is so cool, like you can actually integrate an existing app with Flutter. So it's so cool, Charlie. You have to try, you have to get your hands dirty. Alright, so yeah, and then the most important thing, like let me run through all of these files. We have the lib, that's the library file, which contains the main.dat, which serves as the entry point of our project. Okay, and we have the test file, like if you are writing some tests, or if let's say you are doing some test driven development, yeah, you can write tests in Flutter in your Flutter project. So yeah, okay, alright, so yeah, let's move on. And then this is the git ignore part. Like I'll push this code to GitHub like when this session is over, so that you can actually access it and then play around with it. Okay, it's cool. If you don't know Git, let me know. Okay, so that I can see if we can have some session on that. Alright, okay, so and then we have the metadata. This is auto generated packages, math, IML file, and then the pubspec.log file, the pubspec.yaml. So this is where all the Flutter configuration, like this is where you do it. Okay, we have the name of the project. That's by default it takes the name that's when you run or you execute the command Flutter creates, then the directory name, it takes the directory name, and then the description, like a new Flutter project, and then publish to, since we are not publishing to any, like we are not publishing to the pub.dev, like where all the Flutter libraries are. Well, this is we've set it to none. And then the environment, we are using the .sdk. So if like the .sdk version between 2.7.0 and then it's less than 3. I can actually, let me actually show you that I have that installed. Ooh! Okay, so here Git will save me because I have to revert it. Yeah, you see, Git is so wonderful. So guys, you have to let me know if you don't know Git, and then I'll plan on this for you guys. Okay, alright, so let's move on. Okay, so when I run that, you see that that is a utility, a command line utility for that development. So I have that installed. Okay, and then like I can check the version. Let me check the version. Like that version. I have version. You see that the SDK version is 2.10.5. Okay, so like if this is within the limits. Okay, alright. So like this is the dependency. So we are using Flutter and then Flutter SDK. All right, and then you can also use the iOS style icons. So yeah, you see by default, let me add this, like by default Flutter uses the material design UI, but you can also use the iOS design with the help of the Cupertino package. Okay, and then the development dependencies. So if you want to write test, it still uses the Flutter SDK. And you see over here, as I told you, it uses the material design. Okay, and it's set to true. And if you want to add images, you just bring the assets. Like if you want to add assets like images and those kind of stuff, and then you specify the path. So you see I have assets here. When I open it, I have all the pictures that I'll add in the development there. Like that I added in the development there. Okay, and like there are so many things you can add fonts. Like it's so cool to configure the YAML file, the popspec.yaml file. So yeah, that's for the project structure of that. So let's move on. So with like if you want to run that program, if you want to run the that program, you just type Flutter run and then it will run it. But if you have VS Code, you just install the Flutter and then the the extensions, and then you are good to go. You just have to come to run and then start. Okay, all right. So I don't need you. Bye bye. Okay. Okay, so this is the main.file the main.dat file, and this is the main.dat file, and over here we have the let me quickly add this let's say user page user screen, not and then paste this here. Okay, so like I want to show you something. So I'm gonna go to the main.dat file. Let me discard all the changes. Okay, so when you install Flutter, when you install Flutter, this is what you get. Like, let me hot reload it, hot restart it. Sorry, this is for hot to reload, and then this is for hot restart. So when you click on run and then start debugging, and then you will see the debugging tool over here. Okay, so when you install Flutter initially, this is what you get. So this is what you get initially. So Flutter demo home page. So this is what you get. Okay, and then you can play with the plus this thing, the plus icon. That's the that's floating action button that's over here. Later, please respect yourself. The floating action button. So over here you see we have add. We can change it to minus. Like the icon is add, we change it to minus, and then when I hot reload it, you see we have the oh wait, I think I made a mistake. Oh, okay. No, my machine is coming slow. Okay, so exposure -1, maybe. um 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 okay, okay, so -1. So like I think this one makes sense. So -1, but when you click on it, it adds 1. Like you can change it from adding 1, and then you sort of plus plus minus minus, and then you should be able to, like when we run it is 12, so -1 minus 1, it will be 11, and then 10, and then 9. Okay, you see, Flutter is cool, guys. You should learn Flutter. Okay, so let's get to the fun part, like the reason why we are here today. So that's like I told you that we are going to build let me close this. We are going to build this in Flutter, but I think I have less than like 20 minutes to go, so like I'll copy and paste most of the codes, but because I've already written them, and then I'll explain it to you. But I'm not just going to copy them or no, I'll just explain the important parts to you. Okay, alright, so we are going to build you. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, Control F, no, Control H, and then Control H, and then we are going to select them all, and then we will replace it with nothing. So we have 50 lines, replace it with nothing, and then boom. See, if like what I did, I just deleted all the comments because we don't need the comments right now. Yeah, and you see that like over here you have the Flutter app banner, like the debug banner here. We don't want it, so we remove it. Flutter is so cool. Show debug show banner mode. We'll change it to false, and then when I reload this, you see that boom, the magic happens. It's no more, it's not there. So let me take some time to explain this code to you. So I told you when you run the Flutter create, and then you bring the directory name, Flutter will create a Flutter project, a new Flutter project for you, and then when you open it, you go to the left, like you open the left folder, you go to the main.dat folder, you will see that we have this code over there. So it just like it's just like a bootstrap here for you. Okay, alright, so I told you earlier on during the presentation that in that the entry point or the execution, like where the app starts execution, is the main function. So over here you have main, and like the first line on line 1 we have, like, we import the material UI design, so that we will be able to build beautiful UIs. Okay, alright, so the main function takes another function, which is the run app, which inflates the given widget and then attach it to the screen supposed to say Frank, the screen. Okay, and then we have the my app. It takes the my app and then it will attach it to the screen. So what is my app? My app extends a stateless widget. So in Flutter we have two kinds of widgets. We have a stateful one and then a stateless one. So stateful ones manage the app, the state of the app, but stateless, it doesn't care, it doesn't do anything about the state of the app. Okay, it's just a widget. Alright, so and then like the my app class has a function, that's a build function, which is of type widget. And let me tell you something, in Flutter everything is a widget. Okay, so this app over here, like the whole screen, this whole thing is a widget. So we have something like the widget tree. Over here I'll leave it, I will not go into the, like, I will not explain it further. during our course I'll explain it more, so join us. Okay, all right. So the widgets, it takes like the build function takes the build context, and then it will return the material app. So what we have here is a material app, and you see we have Flutter demo here. So let me show you something. When you click on this icon, I think I didn't click. Oh, my emulator is slow. I think my emulator. Alright, let's forget about it. Okay, so like when you click on it, you see that the title of the app, it will be Flutter demo, and you see over here the home page, we have home page title Flutter demo. I can change it to something like CG KNUST homepage, and then when I run it, boom, you have CG KNUST homepage. It's cool. Okay, like this thing is cool. So the home takes the home page, and then this is the home page. So the home page is a stateful widget because it manages the state of the app. So like one example is and when you click on this button, you see that the text, the counter changes. Okay, it decreases by 1. Alright, so in this case we are making some changes to the state of the app. Okay, alright, so let's move on, let's have fun. Okay, it's easy. What we are about to do is easy. So first of all, let me delete this, and then you see we're having so many red lines, and then I'll delete that one. Okay, and then I'll remove the fab, and then we will give this a container. But before we give this a container, let's get the screen height and then the screen width. So double is a data type in that, so double M screen height, and then it will be equal to the media query dot of context. So the media query let me add the context. Okay, so the media query establishes a tree in which media queries resolve to they are being resolved to the given data. So with the help of the media query, we can get the size of the current media or the window containing the app. Okay, so the media query dot of context dot we can access so many, like the device pixel ratio, disable animations. Like you can do so many things, like invert the colors, so many cool things. Alright, but we just want the size of the app, like the heights, and then the width. Okay, so let's look sharp. We need the width and then the width. Okay, I think we are good to go. So over here we'll just the body of the scaffold, like the scaffold is this thing over here, like the whole screen over here is the scaffold. You see the scaffold has an up bar which has the title, the text, the widget dot title. So over here you see we passing the title, so this will be accessed, like it will be here, to be accessed here when we call the home page. Okay, so let me add my container. You know what, I'm thinking I just wanted this to be done in a fast way, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm thinking, well, let me paste the code here and then we'll refactor the code. Okay, and I'll show you how, like I'll go through the code and then we'll refactor it, because I just wrote it's like I had I have no idea of what I was doing. Let me watch it. I think what restart will do. So we have this beautiful app here. You see, when I paste the code here, see we have this beautiful app, and this is done with Flutter. Ta-da! So guys, Flutter is cool. You have to learn Flutter. Alright, so let me explain this code, what we are doing here. So first of all, I request for the screen height and width, and then I added a container here. So this container, like this whole thing, like first of all, this is the scaffold, the screen. This whole thing is the screen. So the it's a widget too. Okay, it's a screen, but it's a widget. So the scaffold has this property, that's a body, and then the body, you see that it takes a widget. So that's the primary content of the scaffold. So the body, over here we pass in the container, and then the container, we set the height property, the weight property. So like the height and the weight will be of the screen. Okay, and then you see that over here we have the stack. So the stack what should I say, like the stack is it's like this. So when you go to let me add this, like let's say when you go to the library and you are taking books, you just take the first one, you put it down, you pick the second one, you put it on top of the first one, the third one on top of the second one. So that's the stack. So what I did is that this is the stack which contains the let me comment it, the image. Okay, so when I comment it and I hold to load, you see that the image, there is nothing over there. So the container, so let me extract this, and then let me call it let me extract a method, and then let me call it the user profile image. So we call it user profile image. So like a function should do something. So build profile image. So alright, so you have the function that's build profile image, and then right now it's let me go down here. You see that we have a new function here, and this function returns a container. And then what this container, like it returns a container, and then what this container does is that it takes some parameters, that's the screen height and then the screen width, and then you set it here, and then the decoration. So you see that we have some gradient background. Let me reload it. We have some graded background. We have the white being here, and then red sieve being here. So that's it. And then we like the container has a property that's the child, which is contained by the container. So we pass in a column. So in fact, one of the widgets that you use most often is column and then row, because like if you see the app, like the app the design, you can see that like from top to down is a column, but in this case we are using container for like, and like you can do whatever you want to do. Okay, like if I use a container, someone can use a column with a container to achieve the same thing, or like to achieve the same thing. Okay, so you see over here we have row, and then we have column. We have this one is row, and then columns, and here we have row, and then column, row, column. Simple as ABCD. Alright, so okay, so the image Saddam, so this is Saddam, the one who did the design. So that's the image. We use image.asset, and then we will add an image to the phone screen. Okay, and then let's move on. Like we are extracting, and we can do so many crazy things with it. So like let me take the image out. You see that? Oh, Saddam is no more. He's not there. Where is he? Boom. You see, Saddam is no more. Like Flutter is so cool. It's so declarative. Like you want to achieve this, you just write the code and then you get what you want. Okay. Alright. So you see, this code is so messy. When I say it's messy, what I actually mean is that, like, if we are supposed to build, like, this is for a demo. So in the course, I will show you guys how to actually build this in a maintainable way. So like you see, when we refactor the build profile image, you see, like let's say you have the app, like you just start from you start reading the code, be like, oh okay, the scaffold has a body which contains a container, and then it's a stack, and then the stack has a build profile image. Okay, then you go and then you check and you will see that build profile image is there. Like, else it will be like you're just writing the code, like it doesn't follow anything, it doesn't speak to the reader. Okay, alright, so let's move on. So you see that over here I have positioned this screen, this part of the screen, like this widget on this part of the screen. So I've set it to like when the screen height is being divided by 2.3, and then this will occupy this space. Okay, and then you can see that we have some radius, some round corner at the top left and then the top right. This is brought to you by the border radius property. So you can set the radius of both corners. We have so many of them. I have bottom left and bottom right also being part of it. Alright, so let's move on. Yeah, so over here you see that we have set them his name over here. So what we can do is we can change this to like something like, you can extract method again. Like there are two features, should I say features? Yeah, in like that you have to take note of. Like if you are building Flutter app, if you don't manage your app, or like you see that you have written like so many lines of code which like you don't know your whereabouts, which is a bad practice. So I'll encourage you not to do that. Okay, so if you have so many widgets which occurs on multiple screens, you extract widgets. But if you have it occurring on one screen, you extract a method. I think that one is far better. Okay, so this method, what we have to do is like it will build the user after my user name. So this will build the username, and then we have this container. So you see the edit is a container. Okay, like you can add a button, but I choose container, and like I can make it work as a button. I just have to wrap it with the gesture detector. Like, let me show you something. It's gesture detector. Okay, and then I'll add on tap function, and then what I'll do is I'll just print Flutter rocks. Okay, so let me like there's the button widget over there, but I chose to use the container for it, and you see that when I click on edit, we have Flutter rocks printed on the console. Okay, you see, like, it's so cool. So you like, you are not restricted to always use button. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. Okay, I will leave it. So the edit button, we can also like extract it, and then it will be called the build edit button. Build edit button. Alright, okay, so we have the edit button, which return a gesture detector. Okay, I can change this to widgets, and I'm not getting any error because it's a widget. Everything is a widget in Flutter. Okay, you see, nothing changes. Like, the app didn't crash. It's cool. Okay, and like, sometimes you don't have to infer, like, the Python compiler is so smart that if you don't even bring the type, it will determine the type for you. See, I didn't get any error. I just deleted the column, and then boom, everything is okay with me. Alright, so yeah, so Flutter is cool. So right now, like, let's look at our code. You see, that code is now becoming something cool. So when we are reading, like, we have build profile image, then we'll go and check that function out, and then we can see that we can actually change certain things, and then we will make some necessary changes over there. And then build username, build edit button. You will know that, oh, this over here is an edit button. Okay, and then you see we have within the app, we have size box of height 20. One is here. I will show you another one. I can do this so that you one is here, one is there. Like, so many of these. Like, let me count them. We have 3 of these. So what we want is, we don't want this. So, like, we don't want it to be like always we have to type size box. We can actually have something like a spacer. That's fine with that. So we can, I don't know, let me extract a method, and then I'll call it spacer 20, spacer height 20, because it just gives a height of 20. Okay, so like, within the code, you will be able to know that, oh, we have spacer height 20. Alright, let me change it, and then when I reload, see, we have this spacer height 20, and then we have 500 like the following followers, and then post. We can actually change it, because like, it's too much. Like, always we have to be, so we can change it, like, and then write something like build I have something like something. Okay, let me just call it build. Name is hard, bro. I don't know what to name it. So build category. I'm saying category is not category. Well, it's it should be. It was for the following and then followers and those kind of stuff. So over here we will pass in the value, and then we will pass in the title. Okay. Oh shit, did I say that? Sorry. 500. Right. So this is what I'm doing. I'm creating a function, and then this function I'm giving it the argument. Okay, so like the code was, you see, like the code will become so short, but you see that we are having red line. What this means is that the you see, like that's the spacer here. The build category has no it has no type like that, those types that I provided. So I'll add the value and then the title here. So here will be the value. So we can add it, like we can do the string concatenation by bringing $sign and then the variable name, and over here too we can add a title, and then you should be good to go. Alright, so I think we are good to go. Okay, so like over here, instead of we saying like we having the column text to like the text and then we give it a style, like so many of them, you can simply do this, like copy and paste, and then over here you have 20 million followers. I'll just change this to followers, and then you have 1.2k post. Wow, man, you are such an influencer. You have to verify this account. You have to talk to the admin. You should verify certain accounts for him. Alright, so like you see, we are making use of the code. So we have code reusability. With the help of functions, we are making code this thing reusable. And then when I hot reload, you see that we have the setting, like the app, like nothing changes. But what I've done is that we have build category, which takes a function, like which is a function, and then takes a value and then a title. So over here they are dynamic, but we can provide the type of them, like string and then string title. Okay, and then we just have these small lines of code, and then we are just calling them here, and everything is making sense. Do you get it? Alright, so like when you see this, the container, you'll be like, what is this container doing? Like what? Then we can actually change this to like build shadow container, because this is a shadow container. Okay, but I think you are running out of time, so I'll just let us wrap this, like build I think this one should be the category. Build I think this one should be the category. Build the so that's what I'm saying. Okay, so let me build. I'll call this category type build category type, and then boom. But what it takes is that it takes the category and then the type. Like they have the same thing in common, so like why should we keep on writing them? I don't know what I was going through, but I actually did this for this class. Okay, alright, so let's provide something in. You add the first of all you have to add the image, so the image will be image dot as, you know something, we will add the string That's alright. That's the image path. So in Flutter, you can also do some can do naming arguments. So image path, and then we provide assets / photos dot png, and then we can also, like, this is the title, and then we provide the photos, so that we'll actually know what is going on, what does this category type take. Yeah, so let's come here. What you have to do is put it inside a curly braces. So string image path, and then we have string title. Okay, then we have to use it. So we'll put the image path here, and then we will put the title here. Okay, we, like, since it's like we can ignore, since the text widget takes a string data, like we don't have to do the string concatenation thing. You can ignore it, and then let me watch below. You see everything is there, like we are not encountering any issues. So we will add more of the build categories. Okay, so we add 2 more, and then we will copy this one. Right, I think the most important part is the audio. Place it here, the audio, and put it here. And then I'll delete this file. I said this file, this text, and I'll pick the video, and then video, and then yeah, see that we've made this code so tidy, like it's so cool. And right now we have the image, the build category type. It takes the image path, the title, image path, and then title. You see, like, it's worked. Nothing changes, bruh. Like, nothing changes. Okay, and then you can do the same thing here. You just copy the 3, and then we'll come here. So this one, I have the divider, and I've given it a padding of like it's symmetrical. So the horizontal is 50, and then the vertical is 20, and then the divider is of height 10. And add 0 to it, and then we'll see how messy the whole thing will be. Oh, it's so messy. Okay, so these pixel overflow, like we'll look at it in our course, like the Flutter mobile app development course. So don't miss out. I think my time is almost up. Well, let me finish this. We have to finish this before we leave. We have to finish this before we leave. Copy, open and close, and paste this. Okay, then the chat message. Oh, yeah. Okay, and then activity goes here. Activity, copy. Activity, paste. Activity, go. So, like, let's compare something. Like, over here you have 301 lines of code, and then over here, how many lines of code do we have? We have we have 266 like 267. Take it out and let's see the number of lines of code. And like, it's not like we've saved or we've made we've shortened the lines of code. It makes the code also readable. See, readable. You know that, oh, this is doing that. This is where this is right. This is taking this. This that. This is that. It's so simple. It's so simple. So that's Flutter for you guys. And with this, you can deploy, like as you saw it over here. You can deploy for Android and then for iOS. Who don't want this? Okay. Alright, so thanks for but first of all, if you want to learn more, then why not join our mobile app development class? So we are CG KNC chapter. We are going to have a mobile app development class this semester and next semester too. So kindly join us, okay? And then what I want to tell you is thank you for your time for this, for being part of this seminar. I do appreciate it. So aloha, and I'll see you in the mobile app development class. Okay, bye bye.